We're gonna stare at leaves. Okay. Oh, jeez. I forgot what I was gonna say. I've got a few different paranormal experiences. I've got recent ones. I've got past ones. I'm anything and everything and anything and everything. What am I saying? Okay. But, hello, you're staring at leaves. But yeah. I've got a few paranormal experiences. They're newer, they're older, they're ones that I had to be told to remember them from how old they were, and when they happened at a time that I had not gained consciousness in life. Also, hello, X. So, my most recent experience was like last night or the night before, and everyone was asleep, and I had went to go, get some food because I was starving. It was like 12 a.m. I believe, and after I had grabbed something from the kitchen, some sort of food that I completely forgot, I ended up looking over to the window, and I saw the silhouette of a man wearing a fedora. Now, listen, because before that, I think 4 or 5 days ago, maybe a week ago, my dad was talking about where he and his friend had seen a fedora man in a cemetery, and it was a silhouette of a fedora man wearing a trench coat. Coincidence? I don't think so. I think my dad talking about that had somehow, some weird way, brought it to the house. And after it vanished in like a second or two, I bolted to my room. I didn't care if I made noise running back. I ran. And then, the day my dad had told me that story, he told me another story about where, I think him and his friend, no wait, him and my mom, whenever they had their first miscarriage, yeah, she had went to some place with him, and it was this crazy place. There were so many ghosts in there, and one was where a little ghost boy had went home with them. And there was the story they told me about where my mom had told my dad to cut in front of somebody when a voice from the back said, "Don't do it." And he didn't do it. And one car ended up like zooming past them, and they could have wrecked. So, yeah, a little ghost boy saved the lives of my parents. Then there was another one. It was back to what I was saying. But the night my parents had told me those stories, my dad was chilling in the living room. My mom and my brother had went to bed. My dad comes busting into my room saying, "Did you hear someone say no?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I didn't hear anything." And he was like, "Well, did you say no? Were you talking at all?" And I was like, no." And he said, "Well, I just heard someone said no, and I didn't know if it was you, but apparently it ain't, so I'm gonna go look around the house. You keep your door open and listen for anything." And so he went outside with a pistol looking around to see if anyone was near the house or by the house. And once he had left the house, I heard someone whisper, "Listen." I froze up as soon as I heard that. And I went around the house seeing if my dad was in there. He wasn't. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. Oh my god. Then, another experience. Another one. Another one. I've got many. So, this was actually it's more recent as well. It was when I was babysitting my brother like a day or two ago. I think it was yesterday, maybe. But, he had ended up falling asleep. And I had heard, a door slam open. Wait, no. Yeah, slam open. And I shot up and I looked around, went all over the house trying to find it. Nothing. My dad was still at work. My mom was. My grandmother was watching one of my cousins. I went around looking. I even went outside to look. There was nothing there. Not a single soul. And yet I heard a door slam open. And then once I came back, I heard a door slam shut. I heard a door slam shut. And I it wasn't me. And the door had came from where my brother was sleeping. And so I went over there. He was still passed out, conked out on the bed. And I didn't know what to do, so I had sat in that room for a good while until I finally decided to get up and get out. Okay, here's another time. Another story of mine. Yay, stories. Why am I saying this? Because I am. Because I can. Okay, shut up. Shut up. Other story. Other story. Right. So this one, it was like probably 1 a.m., maybe 2 a.m. Everyone was asleep. But yet I heard like, I don't know how you explain it. Like those metal doors. Like, I'm trying to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. It sounded like a metal door that had rolled open, and I had my stuff turned off so I could hear better because I was pretty paranoid. But I had heard a door from the laundry room, and it sounded like a metal door had rolled open, like it was some sort of old cell or something. And I froze in bed, and I looked around. I didn't even dare to go check it out. Then I heard footsteps. Footsteps. And let me remind you, this was at a time that everybody was asleep. And I mean everybody was asleep. And I heard footsteps approach my door. And they stopped. And I, like, looked under the door, because I finally got the courage to. Nothing there. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't know if it was my paranoia, but there was something. There was something there. Let me tell you. And then last night, this is like a really recent one, I had heard something from inside my closet, and I assumed, oh, maybe it was just a mouse or something, because we had a mouse problem, or assumed that something had fell. No, not at all. I heard a knock come from it. A full-blown knock. I froze up in an instant. I didn't. I snatched those covers up over my head and just held still. And fucking hoped that whatever it was wouldn't try and come out that closet. I waited for a good, 45 minutes. Nothing happened. Nothing happened after that. It was just... Okay, another thing. Another little story. I've got so many. This was also... Well, it's not that recent, but it's still involving the new, my house. Because, I had, changed houses and stuff. If you didn't know that, which you probably didn't. But, yeah. Anyways. I'd say it was about, actually, I don't know what time it was when it happened. But, the fuck. I'm trying to remember what day it was, what time of year it was. I can't remember the year like what time of year it was, what time of day it was. But if I can remember this correctly, I had been sitting in my room when I was laying under my bed. I was under the blanket. And note, I have like two fans. One is blowing towards the door. One is blowing towards the wall on the, I want to say right side that I was right side of myself. And I had felt something like swoosh up my back. It was like this super freezing cold thing of like wind or something. It was just like this freezing cold sensation that something had went slowly up my back. And note, my air vent, it doesn't work too good. The pipe is like really small, so it's not gonna do much. And it's placed closer to like my closet, and my bed is like, I'd say 4 or 5 footsteps away from it. And I had got up after that and went to my parents saying, I just felt something grow up my back. Not grow up my back, go up my back. They were like, it's probably just the air vent, you're fine. And, then, another time, this is with the house, same house that I'm in right now. I was home alone, right? I was just chilling. I was singing at the top of my lungs to YouTube on the TV. My door was like wide open because I had forgot to shut it. It suddenly slammed shut as soon as I finished a song. And I had slowly turned my head to look at it. Oh my god. And I said, hello, to the door, to whatever had slammed it. There was no response or anything. I was just like, I had went around checking it too. Check my door, see if there was anything that like could have slammed it. No, that slam was violent. Like, you know how a parent would get mad or a teen would get mad and like slam their door shut really hard? It was the exact same force as that. Oh my god. It feels like I've had more paranormal experiences I can't explain, in my newer house than the house I used to live in, which is like right across the road. And the older house I lived in was originally a hunting camp. And here's like a few stories of the hunting camp, of stuff I've had there. So one night, I was like chilling in my room. I was watching TV on my top bunk when I heard a lady sing from my closet. And no, the closet wasn't really mine. It was filled with old junk and stuff. I heard a woman sing from there, and I had got up, ran to my dad saying, did you hear a lady singing? I'm like, no, I'm not. And he said he didn't know. I was like, how could you not hear that? There was a woman just singing. And he was like, are you okay? Are you going crazy? I was not. Because after I went back in my room, the singing started up again. And when my dad walked in after I had dragged him in, it stopped. Oh my god. Another time, um, there was this one instance. This was more in a dream that actually came true. And this dream I had where I was laying on my bed, and at the like front of my bed or to the side of it, one of those, there was a dark figure that stood there, and it was about like, I'd say 8 or 9 feet tall. And come one fateful day, I had looked up because I felt like I had been watched, like I was being watched. Lo and behold, the figure I saw was standing up against the wall on, like, near the side of my bed. And it had no eyes or anything. It was just this black, dark ass figure. I didn't know what to do. I was traumatized. Oh my god. And then another incident, this is like in a stream. I had saw a white, ghostly kind of figure. And I, like, over here near a tree, and one of my dogs got up and started barking at it and even tried to bite the air. I just, what's going on? I feel like more paranormal activity has started up over here in the new house than the old place. And I don't know what to do. I'm ending. I can't. Ugh.